Thomas Dekker. Thomas Dekker was a versatile English playwright and pamphleteer during the Elizabethan era. He authored around 42 plays over several decades, collaborating with prominent playwrights. Born to a possibly Dutch immigrant family in London, Dekker's early life remains uncertain. He joined the playwright scene in 1598. The Poets' War pitted him against Ben Jonson, satirized as Demetrius Phanius in Poe Taster, which was published in 1601. Dekker retaliated with Satyromastics, published 1601. His works include 9 surviving plays. Notable are The Shoemaker's Holiday and The Honest Whore, Part 2, marked by moralistic themes, vibrant prose, realism, and romantic plots. Dekker's portrayal of London life resonated with middle class audiences. Prose pamphlets like The Wonderful Year, published 1603, addressed the plague. The Bellman of London discussed mischief and crime, and The Gull's Horn Book depicted theatre etiquette. Imprisoned for debt from 1613 to 1619, he wrote prison scenes and contributed to civic events. Dekker's diverse contributions did not ensure financial stability, and he likely died in debt. Philip Massinger. Philip Massinger stood as a prominent English dramatist during the 1600s, leaving an indelible mark on the theatrical landscape of his time. Born as the second child among 5 to Anne and Arthur Massinger, he hailed from humble origins. His education took him to Oxford College between 1602 and 1606, although he left without a degree. Nevertheless, this did not deter Massinger's journey into playwriting, where he crafted a body of work that graced the stages of the king and his court. Massinger's creative output encompassed numerous plays, many of which are characterized by their satirical realism and exploration of political and societal themes. Notable works like A New Way to Pay Old Debts, The City Madam, and The Roman Actor showcase his ability to intertwine social commentary with theatrical artistry. Massinger's unexpected passing occurred in his prime, at a time of relative good health, just before the closure of English theatres due to the Puritan Revolution's iconoclasm. Among Massinger's most celebrated collaborations, his partnership with John Fletcher stands out. Collaborative works and shared deaths forged complex relationships, as evident in historical documents. Massinger's transition to independent playwriting around 1620 marked a pivotal point in his career. His association with the King's Men, the leading theatre company, flourished during this period. Massinger's connection to religious beliefs, particularly Roman Catholicism, is evident in many of his works. This spiritual perspective often finds its way into his plays, offering a unique lens through which he explored the human condition. Despite facing challenges and political sensitivities, Massinger's talent continued to shine, leading to his position as chief playwright of the King's Men following the passing of his close friend and collaborator, John Fletcher. The prologue of The Guardian, a play licensed in 1633, hints at a period of creative dormancy for Massinger, fueled by both political intricacies and matters of personal principle. His handling of political subjects sometimes tested the limits of acceptability, as exemplified by his play Believe As You List. This work, featuring allegorical changes to historical events, caught the attention of authorities due to its potential diplomatic ramifications. Throughout his career, Massinger's writing showcased his loyalty to the political leanings of his patron, Philip Herbert, the 4th Earl of Pembroke. His heroes and heroines often portrayed a nuanced attitude towards monarchy that contrasted with the servile depiction found in plays by Beaumont and Fletcher. As a playwright, Massinger engaged in a delicate dance between creativity and diplomacy, creating works that both entertained and provided subtle commentary on contemporary society. While the passage of time has led to the loss of many of Massinger's plays, his legacy endures through the surviving works that continue to be read, studied, and performed. Among these, A New Way to Pay Old Debts stands as a testament to his enduring influence on the world of theatre. John Ford. John Ford was an English playwright and poet of the Jacobean and Caroline eras. born in Ilsington in Devon, England. His plays deal mainly with the conflict between passion and conscience. Although remembered primarily as a playwright, he also wrote several poems on themes of love and morality. Before the start of his career as a playwright, Ford wrote other non dramatic literary works, which includes the long religious poem Christ's Bloody Sweat, published 1613, and two prose essays published as pamphlets, The Golden Mean and A Line of Life. After 1620, he began active dramatic writing, first as a collaborator with more experienced playwrights, primarily Thomas Dekker, but also John Webster and William Rowley, and by the later 1620s as a solo artist. Ford is best known for the tragedy "'Tis Pity She's a Whore", published 1633, a family drama with a plot line of incest. The play's title has often been changed in new productions, sometimes referred to as simply Giovanni and Annabella, the play's leading incestuous brother and sister characters. In a 19th century work, it is coyly called The Brother and Sister. Shocking as the play is, it is still widely regarded as a classic piece of English drama. It has been adapted to film at least twice, My Sister, My Love and "'Tis a Pity She's a Whore". He was a significant playwright during the reign of Charles I. John Ford's plays deal with conflicts between individual passion and conscience and the laws and morals of society at large. Ford had a strong interest in abnormal psychology expressed through his dramas. His plays often show the influence of Robert Burton's The Anatomy of Melancholy. Ford began his dramatic career in a way common in the period by contributing to plays co-authored with more established dramatists. 6 such plays survive, which includes The Laws of Canty, The Witch of Edmonton, The Welsh Ambassador, The Spanish Gypsy, The Sun's Darling, and The Fair Maid of the Inn. After 1626, Ford made the transition to the sole author and wrote a further 8 surviving plays, which includes The Queen, The Lover's Melancholy, The Broken Heart, "'Tis a Pity She's a Whore", Perkin Warbeck, Love's Sacrifice, Fancies Chaste and Noble, and The Lady's Trial. James Shirley. James Shirley, an English poet and dramatist, was one of the leading playwrights in the decade before the closing of the theatres by Parliament in 1642. He belonged to the significant period of English dramatic literature, but, in Charles Lamb's words, he claims a place among the worthies of this period. Not so much for any transcendent genius in himself, as that he was the last of a great race, all of whom spoke nearly the same language and had a set of moral feelings and notions in common. His playwriting career extended from 1625 to the suppression of stage plays by Parliament in 1642. His first play, The School of Compliment, was performed in 1625 at Drury Lane's Phoenix. When the theatres closed in 1636 as a precaution against the further spread of the plague, Shirley became a dramatist for St. Werburgh's Theatre in Dublin. He returned to London in 1640, succeeding Philip Massinger as a dramatist for the King's Men at the Blackfriars Theatre. After the English Civil Wars, he returned to teaching and published 2 Latin grammar and some non-dramatic verses and mass. His works include The School of Compliment, The Witty Fair One, Hyde Park, The Lady of Pleasure, The Traitor, The Cardinal, and The Triumph of Peace.